Hello there, this is Beth again, and in this video we're talking about the she, S-I-D-H-E, she, of Brian Froud's Fairies Oracle. And this part of the deck we kind of equate to the lords and ladies of fairy that live within the earth. As opposed, they're kind of the more grand ideals. They're really, the whole deck's very archetypal, but they tend to embody some of the more well-known archetypes, such as the maiden, mother, the wild woman, trickster, grace, skill, joy. And depending on what comes up, they can indicate a need to work on that or see something within yourself. Not necessarily always needing to work on something. I guess if you're not seeing yourself in yourself in a way, then you do need to work on it. Cards like the Journeyman, he's setting off on the beginning of his career in a way. He's got his skills, he knows what he needs to do, he knows how to do it, and it's time for him to really hone those skills and move in on them. And it's those kind of lessons in a lot of way that the she are there to teach us, such as the Master Maker. This is one of my favorite cards. I find it to be very powerful. But yeah, it's like it's there, you're there, but you can also block that energy of the Master Maker. It's like you have this wonderful thing within inside you, and if you're not letting out, then you're blocking it. And that's where the real kind of challenging part of working with this part of the deck comes in, is that there's a lot to it. It's like there's a lot to the singers, but it's like once you start getting into the more kind of individualistic cards, I'm not sure if that's individualistic. I'm not sure if that's the word I want, but it's the best one I can think of right now. Yeah, and they tend to, you'll notice these are all like corporeal forms. They're, it's not like the singers that are just some kind of energy form pulsing there. They're all people. This is the fairy godmother. She tends to deal with abundance. She shows up a lot in money readings. But they're that kind of thing. It's the mother himself who's the horned god, who I actually think is, do I have him? Did I pull him out? I did. I pulled himself out. I think they're all gorgeous cards, but some of the imagery just in this part of the deck is so yummy and so powerful. There's the Dark Lady. A sage. And this is when he's all grumpy. You're not doing what he says you should. But these are that kind. They're more archetypal, I'd say, than the singers. Although it's yeah. Yeah, they're like a powerhouse of wisdom, that you can apply to your life in a general format to use to fine tune your life, as opposed to kind of life sweeping shifts that the singers embody, or the really challenging boundary pushing shifts of, say, a fairy challenger that they'll just give you a good shove and send you on your way. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, really, are you gonna, where is he? Look at that guy. I mean, doesn't look like he's mean, but he doesn't look like someone you just want to like piss and moan to. And can you, piss and moan to him, piss and moan to the Dark Lady? Really, they're not going to put up with that kind of shit, and they will push you directly into the fairy challengers. So whereas like with the singers, they're kind of like, yes, we are helping you, we are always there, we are the greater good. These, have a little bit more of a darker aspect where when you're blocking them off, you can shove yourself into a darker aspect of the energy of these cards. And the energies that work with them too can just bam you into, instead of like easing through, not feeling content and feeling dissatisfied and not really listening to anyone, instead of easing you kind of through that by saying, hey dude, oh, gnome's here, I need to, look at what I'm doing. You ignore, oh, that gnome, and you get pushed into, say, gloomiest doom or someone like that. Yeah, these are the start of something. They can be very powerful to work with, and in many ways are more relatable, the start of more relatable cards than that of the singers, as far as just visual and being able to see and really get a feel for how they look. And when reading from them too, it's like the sage. Obviously there's a definite Odinistic play there with the sage and the one-eyed kind of thing. Not that that's not a popular theme throughout various mythologies, but when I look at that, I can pick that apart. Whereas when I look at, say, something like this, much harder to pick apart a meaning. So this is kind of where you start to get some nice tangible lore within this deck. Yeah, they're great teachers. They're really, some of them, I work a lot. Himself, I love himself, the Dark Lady. Wonderful. She is dark. I mean, it's not like, and I think one thing we tend to do, at least, I hate to, in the West, I hate kind of making this general, broad sweeping kind of statements, but there's you see a cultural trend to equate dark with bad, dark with evil, and dark is not necessarily any of those. And I mean, look at her. That's a woman stepping into her power. You don't mess with her. I just turned sepia. That was weird. Ooh, weirdness. But that is it for the she. And like I said, this thing is, we are going to go more into depth into each card. There's just so much that goes on within this deck that I decided to approach it from the broad themes down to the smaller themes to kind of give you a feel for it. But that is all for this video, and you have a wonderful day. Bye.